So usually this is a matchup I just wouldn't even waste our time with. Delhi versus Malians has been played out a lot, and it has come out Delhi thumbs up time and time and time again. But it's a Dragan game, so we always make an exception, right? Dragan is a little bit of a funky demon here, actually. The reason why I thought it'd be cool to check this out is like Dragan in particular doesn't really play the metaized style of Malians. Typically, Malians get crushed by Delhi because they're trying to be greedy. Something you'll notice about Dragan in comparison to other Malian players, he does a lot more of this 1 TC, no fast castle, all-in feudal type build. And I'm curious to see how effective it's going to be against the Delhi, a civ that is renowned as a king of feudal pressure. Let's find out, because Elyona is definitely no pushover. And yes, this is Elyona, not Elyona. I think that's what you want me to say. Going up against Dragan. Rank-wise, Elyona on this account, I think this one has slipped a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, 240th, but his main is 31st in the world. Dragan, meanwhile, is sitting in 166th place, so he's slipped a bit. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's slipped for, I don't know, a good cause, I guess you could call it. You know what Dragan's like. We've had him do weird challenges before, such as proxy TCs. He's always doing something unorthodox and off the cuff. I'm wondering what he might try on a map like this. I mean, I'm thinking proxy straight away in my brain, and I'm seeing Stealth Forest as a possibility. We are going to be on Lipany, which is, of course, a fantastic map for the Delhi. Just so much additional berries to play with on the map. But once again, if Dragan is going to play an aggressive tone with the Malians here, it might be something you can look to exploit. Tower Victor on the way on one side, Mansa on the other. Looking at the gold spawns, something to fight for, right? Like, forward spawning golds like this means Malians aren't going to get that for free. I'm wondering, if you do play along Feudal, there might be quite a bit of value in playing Sofas. It's a little bit weird because you are basically building a heavy unit against Ghazi that isn't a real heavy unit, so it can lose the Ghazi quite easily. But if you do actually have a decent sheep haul, it might be an option on the table. Right now, decent isn't in the arsenal of Dragan. That is an atrocious sheep haul. 14 sheep to 4. Please tell me he's got some to find on the way home. I think there's like maybe 3? No, there's 1 or 2. Yeah, this is looking rough, guys. I think Dragan might not be able to prove to us that Malians can win against Delhi here. Because I'm expecting this to be quite an autopilot type game for Elyona. It isn't an outrageous spawn where the Delhi player gets 2 sacred sites for free, right? Where they're right close together. But it's kind of like a dry Arabia smushed. So less distance to run between sacred sites. Means easier coverage and easier defense to Delhi. I'm wondering, are you guys showing your bias here? Oh, okay. No, I love that. Delhi are still favored according to predictions from chat, but not as overwhelmingly as we usually see. I think a lot of that does go to Dragan here, more so than anything. Like, a lot of people have watched Dragan recently, and I'm sure many of us have been entertained, in some cases gobsmacked by the builds he comes out with. Only one person voted for Delhi? Oh. We've got someone who believes too much in the meta. I'm a little bit surprised Delhi still haven't been reworked dramatically in some way, by the way. Like, it's kind of wild to me. I don't think this is a civ that... The problem I take is, like, whenever a civ is left untouched and unaltered, even if it's considered to be balanced and works and cannot work, the problem is, and I've noticed this from other games, no change equals stagnance. Right? Because eventually you've perfected everything you can feel to perfect with it, and people want new things. I still remember this so vividly with Dota 2. Dota 2 had this patch. I think it might have been 6.86 or something like that. Guys, it was the perfect patch. Right? It was a utopia of balance. Everything was viable. Anything could work. Right? Imagine a version of Age of Empires 4 where HRE aren't OP, but they work, where you could pick French and they might win, but they're not guaranteed to. Anything was viable, right? Byzantines aren't OP. That was where Dota was at one point. And I was like, wow, we've reached the golden age. Nothing will ever be as good as this. 2 weeks later, people are like, we need a patch. Bored, right? Devs already prepped a patch. They knew people would get bored. That's kind of the weird state we're in, is like people just aren't happy with the status quo. So, you know, even if the feeling is that Delhi isn't obnoxiously over the top, I feel like compared to other civs, they may be due for a little bit of a tweak. Wait, what am I... We talked about Sofa? We're getting a pro scouts build out of Dragan. Oh, this is sick. And he goes after the scout as well. That's really smart. Denies the vision, right? And can now just break away. Okay, this is cool. Breaking the mold, baby. We said it wouldn't be a fast castle build. He's got to get food if he wants to get those sofas. A good opening trade. And remember, because the Malians are actually secretly the Wakandians, they do have nano healing tech, as you're seeing by the health bar there. Oh, this is cool. What makes it worse still is the fact that because Alyona wants to be optimal with Delhi, he wanted to go into archers, not into spearmen, right? Which makes a lot of sense, actually, because you think, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What would you do? Why would you do that? Why would you, like, ever choose to go archers instead, you know, against javelins here, right? Surely you want to go spears first. No, because we've watched multiple times, more recently, actually, quite often, it's Delhi versus Byzantine where this happens. The Byzantine build javelins, and the Delhi just annihilate them with archer spam. It's because the attack speed buffer. It makes you more efficient at trading, even against units that counter you, right? Because usually what happens, the javelins will overkill the archers, and the archers just shoot off a lot more shots. So that's why Elyon was going for that comp. It felt a lot more healthy, but now he has to go back for the 1-1-1 on a delay, where Dragan now gets the 4 deer for free. And I'm sure Elyon is suspicious and probably aware of what's coming here, right? Like, when you see an opening of scouts like that, you've got to be thinking pro scouts. And yeah, we are going for a blast from the past. Dragan's trying to bring it back in time for the road to Red Bull Wallalor El Reinado. I don't know if that's what they're going to call it this time, but I mean, pretty much is the road to it. Archers Donza's getting added in. Dude, I really, really like Dragan's approach. Like, no cap. This is pretty cool, right? Because he can still now kind of actively raid with the scouts, even if he's not just gathering. And yeah, look at that. There's enough of them to start pinching these guys. This is the mistake made by Alyona. Losing those initial Ghazi hurt him because he didn't have enough to just brawl straight up right now. Is it going to be Farimba? Whoa, whoa, crackety, crackety. What? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold your horses there. Hold your scout horses. Who said anything about Castle Age? This is Dragan. I mean, I think he's going to try to end this in Feudal. Knowing Dragan, I would not be surprised if he tries to end this in Feudal. He's adding in sofas as well. This is really cool. We talked about the idea of sofas here. It's a little bit dicey against Ghazi because Ghazi get bonus damage against you. But it's still a pretty optimal unit to tank for you against the archers. And it's still another raiding comp, right? Like, it can go with the warrior scouts and dive the back lines. Scouts still winning for the moment. Spearmen are starting to arrive, but the archers are going to block that off. So good trades in here. Love this. Body blocking the Ghazi to prevent them reaching the archers. And just outnumbering, right? And the thing is, like, when you outnumber like this, it's very easy to just pull away the injured scouts and then heal off all the damage. This is wild. Yono is really struggling with this. And it's also his own fault because he tried to do the wall-in and got caught mid-walling. Now the retreat's going to lose more. Game is just getting better and better for Dragan right now. Remember, Elyona's also in a dicey situation. They've cleared the initial berries. They have got sheep to work with, but you need those berry gathering rates. On top of that, if you retreat any further, Dragan's just going to grab all the deer and leave. Alyona just doesn't have an army. He needs like 4 times the archers he has right now to start tickling this. And oh my god, Dragan is going for the Castle Age. So Farimba it is. At this point, it has to be Farimba, right? I think, you know, if this had gone a bit more back and forth, you probably would have seen him double down and invest more in now. But with how fumbled that was by Alyona, there's no reason to try and dive an enemy base in Feudal and kill yourself, right? It's much easier now just to continue to scale. Okay, ignore me. As I say, continue to scale, but go towards Castle. He immediately reinvests 2/3 of what you need for Castle Age. We're getting mass sofas. This is risky, right? Like, it requires you to not make a mistake. And you have given a bit of breathing room to Alyona. Dive in on the villagers now. No textiles. This hurts. And yes, Dragan is Dragan. I mean, I kind of like it, right? Like, Alyona was a bit greedy in his approach. He didn't get textiles. He misread the opening fight. He went for the wall-in straight away, thinking it was for free. He essentially did not, seems expect an all-in play. I think he just expected pro scouts into camp and play Farimba. And Dragan Completely caught him off guard by doing this. I can't believe we're looking at a Malian game 11 minutes in, and it's probably going to end with no javelins built at all. Like, you very rarely say that. Javelins are like the creme de la creme, the premium unit you always look for. Watch the damage done. Still no textiles coming out from Alyona. And the sofa count keeps increasing. I'm getting worried. I think Alyona is going to struggle to hold this at this rate. Ghazi trying to warp into it. Archers are just tying down the limited spears that are out here. In fact, there's only 4 in grand total on the map. Ghazi going to try to break around the backside, but I mean, at this stage, the next wave should be able to just punch through. I think this is over. God damn, dude. Dragan is such a pleasure to watch. You know, I was recently talking to Cal. He's like, don't be surprised if Dragan wins the Norwegian LAN. And I mean, I gotta agree with it, dude. This kid's wild. That's it. GG gets called. Oh, what a cool build. Who needs Castle Age? Who needs Fulani? Who needs Farimba? Feudal your heart out.